6th grade teachers, especially the 5th and 6th grade music teachers, Crystal Van Masden and then Tom Werbeck, and Tom is over here, and we've got just a real brief presentation. I've got Emily Seberg and Kendall Fett and Jessica Maves. Why don't you guys come on out here, okay? And Mr. Werbeck, why don't you come on up, and Crystal, come on over here. These girls have something they'd like to give to you.
On behalf of the 5th and 6th grade, we'd like to present Mrs. Van Madsen and Mr. Werbeck with these flowers for all the time and effort they put into our program.
While they're doing that, there's a theme that the 5th and 6th graders are the 5th graders are focusing on tonight, and it's heroes, and I think Crystal will talk about that in just a minute. But I also want to thank all the students for their hard work, and especially for Crystal and Tom for all the effort that they have put into this program. Just last week, probably many of you were here for the 3rd and 4th grade music production, but I just want to thank Crystal and Tom both. They put a lot of energy and dedication into this. So, Crystal, do you want to introduce?
Sure. If some of you have been at my junior and senior high concerts lately, I've had a storm every night of a concert this year. Serious. And then there's a Blenders concert, there's a storm. And then we took our kids to Chicago about 3 weeks ago, there was a storm. So, I'm really glad you're here. You know, I kind of just look every day and I hear the weather forecast and the cooks come in and they go, do you have a concert tonight? I go, yeah. So, it's kind of a joke around here. So my next flowers, just positive things to say, and I really appreciate them a lot. And thanks to you guys for bringing them up right and making them that way. Thanks.
Give me hum, and
sing about, but I don't think I really understand what a hero is.
Well, to me, a hero is a great athlete.
Not me. I listen to the radio to hear all my heroes.
Well, it appears they have some different opinions as what a hero is. For our next essay assignment, why don't we use the theme of what is a hero? Well, I think there's more to being a hero than just being famous. Heroes are people who show courage. They're not afraid of what the future may bring them. They're not afraid to open a new window.
Go, Jody!
So just take a minute to get the choir on stage.
recognize some of our special people that are with us tonight. And we have, of course, our D.A.R.E. officer, Tim Gordon. And we also have a special guest, our Becker County Sheriff, Tom Hunt. And his wife, Linda, who's standing right over there. Their two children graduated from Frazee School, and I guess I'm old enough to say that I'm in this class. Also, we have with us Pastor Dave Transmeyer. Miss Brenda Holzer, who is now currently Miss Jamestown, North Dakota. Dave Stolzenberg, our principal, where are you? Wilma Hanson, our assistant principal. Our 5th grade teachers, Mrs. Holzer, Mrs. Lau. Mrs. Paulson couldn't make it tonight. I think she had to work. And our special guests, all parents, guardians, important people, persons in the life of each and every one of our special D.A.R.E. graduates tonight. Right now, I'm going to turn it over to Tim, and we'll get on with our program.
We don't believe in long speeches because I don't. I want to thank all of you for coming tonight. Parents, talking to you. 5th graders I've been with for 17 weeks, so they've heard enough about me, or from me, I should say. But it has been a pleasure. And everything that we've discussed in class is not going to be worth practicing on the street unless we have the support from your parents. And by you being here tonight, that shows it all. And once again, I want to thank you, and you are the ones that actually deserve the applause, because without you, I couldn't do what I do, and the students don't learn what they learn. So thank you for being here.
What a privilege it is for me to be with you this evening. And I want to congratulate all of you on this wonderful moment in your life. I have been the pastor of a church for over 25 years. That's a long time. That's almost as old as some of your parents. And the reason I accepted the invitation to speak with you this evening is because I love children. I've worked with children all of my life. In fact, I was a child at one time. Really. And I have to tell you that when I was a 9-year-old child, I gave my first public speech, and it was an absolute disaster. I spoke on how to brush your teeth as a member of the 4-H club, and I took out a pair of old yellow false teeth. They belonged to my grandpa. They had been left at our house. I grew up on a farm in southern Minnesota, and they had been left at our house, and I thought, what a perfect thing to use to teach people how to brush their teeth. Well, I was standing in front of about 20 4-H club members, and I started demonstrating, you know how to do it. The dentist has showed you, haven't they? And everybody started laughing. I couldn't even finish my speech. I felt so bad, because I thought they were all laughing at me. So I ran out of the living room. It was in our farmhouse. And I ran to the back porch, in a corner and started crying. And my mom came to me, and she put her arms around me, and she took out her handkerchief. And my tears were filled with, my eyes were filled with tears. And she dabbed them, and she hugged me, and she gave me a kiss, and she said, "Davy, they weren't laughing at you, they were just laughing at the old yellow teeth you were using." But it felt so good to have my mom talk to me. I am so pleased that there are a lot of parents here this evening, because part of my presentation is going to be parents also. You are part of the team. It takes, someone said, a whole village to raise a child. It takes people like parents and teachers and church and friends and relatives and peers and neighbors. You understand, everybody leaves their mark. We are not self-made. A lot of people touch us. At the very earliest time in life, we start learning. We learn how to disagree. We learn how to cooperate, or how to solve problems, or how to express our feelings, or build relationships. Many people have been teaching you how to do that. In fact, you adults should know that during the first 12 months, 7% of their personality is developed. Do you know that? In the first 12 months, did you know in the first 6 years, 85% of our value system is fixed? And when children start school, you might have, some have said, about 15% to work with. I have to share with you a story from the Chicago Sun-Times that I pulled out a few years ago. It's kind of a sad story, but it makes the point that a lot of people influence us and help us to be the people that we are. Let me read it to you the way I got it from the Chicago Sun-Times. When Johnny was 6 years old, he was with his father when they were caught speeding in the car. His father handed the officer a $20 bill with his driver's license. "It's okay, Johnny," his father said as they drove off. "Everybody does it." When he was 8, he was permitted at a family council presided over by Uncle George on the surest means to shave points off the income tax return. "It's okay, kid," his uncle said. "Everybody does it." When he was 9, his mother took him to his first theater production. The box office man couldn't find any seats until his mother discovered an extra $10 bill in her purse. "It's okay, Johnny," she said. "Everybody does it." When he was 12, he broke his glasses on the way to school. His Aunt Francine persuaded the insurance company that they had been stolen, and they collected $87. It's okay, kid, she said. Everybody does it. When Johnny was 15, he made right guard on the high school football team. His coach showed him how to block, and at the same time, grab the opposing end by the shirt so the officials couldn't see it. It's okay, kid, the coach said. Everybody does it. When he was 16, he took his first summer job at the big market. His assignment was to put the overripe tomatoes in the bottom of the boxes and the good ones on top where they would show, and then wrap cellophane around them so you couldn't see the bottom ones. It's okay, kid, the manager said. Everybody does it. When he was 18, Johnny and a neighbor applied for a college scholarship. Johnny was an average student. His neighbor was in the upper 3% of the class. He was really smart. But he could not play right guard. Johnny got the assignment. It's okay, they told him. Everybody does it. When he was 19, he was approached by an upperclassman who offered the test answers for $10. It's okay, kid, he said. Everybody does it. Well, Johnny was caught, and he was sent home in disgrace. How could you do this to your mom and me, his father said. You never learned anything like this at home. His aunt and uncle also were shocked. If there was one thing the adult world could not stand, it's a kid who cheats. The adult world also cannot stand assuming some of the blame. Last weekend, my heart went out to a mom that I saw on WCCO on Mother's Day near Northfield, Minnesota. You saw it all on the news. A teenage boy smashed into a police patrol car, killing the officer. This mother, on Mother's Day, 1996, said, for all the world to hear, we let down my son. He had been in trouble so many times, but we never really helped him the way we should have helped him.
Be drug and violence free. My hope is that you will remain with that decision throughout your lifetime. I must admit, my first-hand experience, that life can be tough at times. Resisting peer pressure is a hard thing to do. You need to set goals and morals and be a leader and not a follower.
We have done an Abbott and Costello Act, Who's on First, and they would like to present that to you.
This would be funny.
This is Larry Hoffman and Darren Bruce.
Okay. We're doing Who's on First and find Ava and Larry Costello. You know, strange as it may seem, they give ball players nowadays very familiar names. Now in the St. Louis team, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's third.
That's what I'm trying to find out. I want you to tell me the names of the people on the St. Louis team.
I'm telling you, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third.
You know the fellow's names?
Yes.
Well, then who's playing first?
Yes.
I mean the fellow who's been on first base.
Who?
The fellow playing first base.
Who?
The guy on first base.
Who's on first?
Well, what are you asking me for?
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, who's on first.
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's the man's name.
That's Tuesday.
Yes.
Well, go ahead, tell me.
Who?
You guys are speaking on first stick. Who's the thing first?
Absolutely.
Well, all I'm trying to find out is the guy's name on first date.
Oh, no. What? On second date.
I'm not asking who it's.
Who's on first?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Now take it easy.
What is it? That's what I'm trying to find out.
What's the guy's name on second base?
I'm not asking who it is.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
He's on third.
I mentioned the third baseman's name. Who did I say?
This will be real short too.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate all of you fifth graders. I think it's been said a few times before, but of course the challenge lies with the statement, I guess, can you stick to your promise? Can you really stick to your promise? And I think that, we're all here, the staff is here, the parents are here to support you, and they would endorse you and say, yes, you can do it. And I would say the same thing to you. The challenge is, can you do it? You've got the support of your classmates here today. All of you are standing up and saying that you're not going to be using drugs, you're going to be violence-free. And that's all fine and good, but actually the proof will be in how you act and how you live out your life. And I guess the only suggestion I could say is to try to take it one day at a time, because if you look down the whole road, it's going to seem like a long haul. But if you take 1 hour at a time, half a day at a time, one full day at a time, and build on that, then you can do it. You can see, you can succeed just one little bit at a time. And that would be my challenge to you is, can you stick with your promise? And I certainly hope that all of you boys and girls do. It makes me feel good to see all of you here making mistakes.
Thank you. I'm not here to entertain you. I was asked if I was going to be the comedy act, but I think that's been taken care of there, so I won't even bother trying to get into that. I do want to thank you for inviting me tonight, and thank Tim and Nancy for inviting me. I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to see all of you sitting here in front of me, and I'm very proud to see the parents here. It makes me feel real good to know that they're interested in what you do. You've been at it for 17 weeks. You're done with this session, but believe me, your life has just begun. And you're going to find a lot of little roads out there with a lot of Y's in them that you don't know which way to go. But with the information you have here now, from Tim and from Nancy and from all the other people in the school, hopefully you're going to be able to make the right turn. I don't want to take up too much time here, but I do want to recognize one person who I happen to think is very special. His name is Tim Gordon. He's been with me for a long time. And parents, if you don't know Tim, I would come up afterwards and shake his hand and tell him thank you, because he's done a wonderful job. He loves kids, he loves parents, he loves doing what he's doing, and we're proud of him in the department to have him here. So please give Tim a big hand.
The reason I don't give the long speeches, the next 8 people you hear from, they're going to read what we've been doing for the last 17 weeks. And believe me, if you don't think it takes courage to come up here as a 5th grader, yourself as a 20-year veteran on the department, or almost 18 years, it takes me up. So just think how much courage it takes as a 5th grader. That's the 8 people you hear from. They're going to represent each of the classrooms that they're in. They wrote an essay. It's called Taking a Stand. What they feel about D.A.R.E, why they're going to be drug-free, and what they've absorbed from the D.A.R.E program. And with that, we'll start. It's going to be a random order. The medallion is presented as a national award, well deserving of the people. I wish I could the budget allowed for 106 medallions, but Abby Visner.
My name is Abby Visner. I think there is a very cool way of teaching kids to say no in many different ways and to walk away from any kind of violence. I also think D.A.R.E helps kids realize that drugs and violence don't solve anything. In D.A.R.E you learn about how to be yourself because everyone has at least one special quality and everyone is special. From ways to deal with stress, resolving a disagreement without violence, and most of all, how to stay loyal to your life. If you avoid drugs, you can stay in the things you like, the sports and the things that are separate. Future farmers are learning. Live a longer, healthier life, have healthier, more caring friends, and a better education. Also have better self-esteem and a prouder family.
My name is Tim Zick, and in my opinion, the D.A.R.E program will and has helped kids all over the country. In D.A.R.E, we learned how to say no, how to handle things the right way, and how to stay away from the drug abusers. I would never do drugs because my family and friends would lose their trust in me. I have a big sister who chooses not to do them, and I will not do them either. It is important not to be drug-free, because if you aren't, you'll be in big trouble. So if you do drugs, it'll ruin your whole career and anything you ever had.
I like the D.A.R.E program because it is fun and it teaches you about drugs and how not to use them. And also it tells you some of the consequences that happen if you do use drugs. I also like the D.A.R.E program because it tells you about other things besides drugs. For instance, it tells you about peer pressure, media, and violence. It tells you how to avoid some of these things and how to say no. I have learned not to use drugs and hear from living blood. You can get kicked out of extracurricular events such as baseball, swimming, volleyball, football, and wrestling. You can also get kicked out of school altogether and lose your education. You could get arrested. Then your parents might have to pay for your behavior to get you out of jail. I have also learned ways to say no to violence and drugs. Here are some ways. Walk away, say you have other plans, or invite them to your house. I think it is important to be drug-free because of your health. Here are some effects of using drugs. If you use tobacco, you could get cancer in your mouth and have to get your tongue cut out. If you get to get rid of it, you can get kidney and gum disease. If you use alcohol, you could get very sick and possibly die because your brain shuts down. Using marijuana, you could also get very sick and die. If I use violence to solve problems, then maybe other people will too. People get physically and emotionally hurt by violence.
Next one.
I think that I learned that it's very important not to turn to drugs and violence, but to stay on the right track and find alternatives for drugs and violence. I feel that this program is very inspiring. I also think that it's important to teach children the right things in life. I do not think that this is important to be drug-free and before violence. I think it is very important. I hope that the children of the future will know that.
I feel we should have a D.A.R.E program in all schools around the world. It helps both kids and adults solve and work out their drug and violence problems, both in the future and present time. I've learned in the D.A.R.E program many different things about drugs, such as how to say no when asked to do them, how the media tries to lure you into do drugs with commercials, and even how friends and family will pressure you into doing drugs. We talked about games and how they make you feel like though you belong with them. They also care for you and get you to
that you really recognize. If they really care for you, you shouldn't have to do drugs and violence to be in my day. Because the only way babies survive is to use violence towards others. I choose not to do drugs because I want to be somebody and have a career, rather than sitting around drinking and smoking and bringing my chances of getting cancer and other disease percentages up. When I get to junior high and through 12th grade, I want to play sports and any other extracurricular.
Stephanie Bruin, Amber Goldrick, Brian Gobo, Chris Goodman, okay, Damon Goodmanson, Anna Hansen, Madison Eastrom, Casey Heinisch, Larry Hoffman, Tammy Hoopy is also gone. Dennis Jacobson. Brandon Kent. Gone. Brittany Ketter. Andy Kohler. Kayla Manley. Jonathan King. David Goodmanson. Back yet? Brandon Kent. Okay. Dennis Jacobson. It's going to be different. Walk up the other side. Larry Hoffman. Chris Goodman. Justin Olson. Leanne Olson. I'm glad you picked Leanne. Amy Quickschreiber. Audrey Shaw. Adam Tide. Melissa Olschmidt. Kristen Watson. Brooke Winston-Mistowski. Derek Blake, Natalia Erb, Angel Hohaken, Jesse Hildreth, Ashley Jepson, Katie Johnson, Isaac King, Tessa Koska, Jody Larson, Luke Lundgren, Nancy Nicholson, Ashley Moon, Dusty Muckey, Derek Gold, Nicole Ramsey, Alyssa Sandberg, Zach Fromm, Troy Schrupp, Eric Schultz, Steven Trego, Jennifer Tabby, Nick Winston, Anderson Jones, Abby Bittner, Tammy Beats, Sheena Wagoner, Ty Goldie.
Say Wilma. Smile.
That's not scary.